Without a shadow of a doubt, it's the Cronkite Show in social media history. I want to welcome you to another episode of the War Zone. I got my man in the building, Donovan Sadiq. I got the Queen, Demetra K. And I guess you would call me the $6 million Negro because they rebuilding me. I'm the 5-star general. Say, man, tonight, I talked about it this weekend, but I had to go get the team. This woman, child, was a part of the group that killed Melanie, and you want sympathy? Baby, tonight we finna tell you a brand new asshole. I can promise you that. Y'all sit back, man. We finna go in. Say, man, I want to thank you for tuning in and tell you, all of us feel the same way. You're the best audience in the world, and without you guys, we would not have a show. So we appreciate you taking the time out to come and hang out with my two intelligent black friends and the crazy black Republican is what it is, man. First of all, I want to tell y'all thank you for all the well wishes this morning, man. I don't, no matter if I'm getting on stage or going through surgery, I always have a moment of nervousness. And I didn't want to cut up in the hospital because I cut up when I'm in the hospital, man. I'm telling you straight up, man. Certain things you can't do. You draw blood, you get 1 or 2 shots, and you don't hit that vein right. I'm gonna give you some problems. We didn't have none of that. Went in this morning, procedure went pretty good, so we're trying to see, how this thing gonna work. And then, from there we go start the weight loss journey. So thank you, all of y'all that took time out to think about old 5-star this morning. A lot of days you're the only family I got. So it's good to know my brothers and sisters, white, black, Latino, the whole 9 yards, they down with me. I will tell you that, of course, I'm running for school board. So if you want to donate, just donate, man. We need some help. Let me tell you something. I can't win this without y'all. I don't need a lot, but I need what I need. I will say that we did a video in the last election, a rap music video, but this time we're going to do another video. But I say I want to do something different. So I went and got the wizard himself, one of the greatest rappers alive, K Reno, to come rock with me. And I went and got Ruben Moreno, the Zydeco star. I'm gonna take you to another level on this song. But I want to tell you, this is my news for the day. Tasha Jackson. My man Aubrey Taylor wrote a story. And when I got out the hospital, I'm like, this is motherfucking hill. Tasha Jackson, we know, should not sit in the seat for District B City Council because she did not live in an area that was not unannexed. She lived in an annexed area. Therefore, she cannot hold or run for a municipal office. Therefore, she needs to resign her seat. And if she chooses not to, she's going to face the consequences on a high level. Well, what Ms. Jackson concocted was a plan and didn't know. We watching you the whole goddamn time. What them surveillance videos look like of you moving into your house in Fifth Ward? You ain't live in Fifth Ward before the election. You had to live there at least 6 months. Your surveillance videos of you going into the house. Surveillance videos of your sister and the U-Haul truck moving into your old house in the annex area. And then I'm going to tell you this, because Demetra didn't know this. Ms. Jackson, I've never seen somebody with garbage credit be able to get a loan from JP Morgan Chase to get a brand new Jaguar. We own you. You will not sleep. I'm going to make it tough on you. Donovan, what's going on, my friend?
That old saying, watch what you perceive. What? Practice what you weave or deceive. It all comes out in the light. It's just amazing. And it's almost, this is what goes on in Houston to me is almost comical with the Houston politicians. The people are great, but I mean, the gall of this person to think that people are not looking at her as she's moving her raggedy furniture and stuff into some place that she never really lived in. And it's all going to come out in the wash, but this is exactly why the black media does what it does. We cover stories that the mainstream media will not do. So welcome to the War Zone, the realest conversation on the planet. I want to also say about the 5-star running for school board. Any little bit helps, but here's one thing we do know. Y'all getting a STEMI check, so, break off 100, do a little 50, maybe 25. And then we'd have a strong campaign to get our person, the person that we want, looking out for our children. But not much going on in the news today. Basically, Donald Trump is trying to use some friends to get back on Twitter. He's having Twitter withdrawal symptoms. And, he wants to go in on Lynn Cheney and all that other good stuff. But I want to give a special shout out to my girl, Demetra, who early this morning reminded us, what the hell happened to those checks being distributed immediately, according to Joe Biden and the Democratic Party? Demetra?
So yes. Welcome to the Monday night edition of the War Zone. I hope you guys all had a fabulous weekend. If you can do us a favor and please share this live so that everybody else can get the information and join in on the conversation, we would greatly appreciate it. And so you guys know a lot is unfolding with the Melanie Lyons case. So you guys know also we talked about it on Friday, where Melanie Lyons, a 15-year-old, was murdered in Walmart on her birthday. It was her birthday, January 23rd, by a group of girls. It was 4 girls who chased her from the movie theater, followed her into Walmart, and got a hold of some knives there, picked a fight with her and her sister, and ended up stabbing her to death, or she bled to death there on the Walmart floor. And so Saturday, I believe it was, the 5-star went live because he happened upon the video of one of the little girl's mothers. And I won't say the kids' names because they're minors. You guys might want to, but I'm just going to not do that. But her mother goes by the name of Erica Rochelle, or Erica Gallo, I think, as her other name. She took to her life. Actually, it was 6 days ago. And she said she needed to defend the character of her daughter because that's not who she is. She's a sweet girl. She didn't raise her to be that way, this, that, and the other. She also has a GoFundMe going and, a couple of other ventures in order to fund the legal fees to get her daughter a good lawyer. Her daughter is 12. She, again, was amongst the 4 girls, and she's saying that she didn't actually know the killer. She was there with another friend, and they kind of tagged along during the melee. This is what the mother is saying. I actually watched most of her video, and she did a lot of crying, which I guess rightfully so. She has a 12-year-old child who is in juvenile hall, facing potentially a murder rap, and will maybe do a whole lot of years unless for whatever reason she is free. The mother went on to say that she is herself feeling suicidal due to, the circumstances and just really feeling helpless. She said that her daughter that night called her to pick her up, but for whatever reason, she didn't go pick her up. So she's having some guilt about not being able to get there to pick up her daughter, because she says that she would have gotten there, then her daughter wouldn't be involved in something she, from what she's saying, really had nothing to do with. And she's mad at people who take issue with what her daughter and her, I'll call them the 4 girls did, in calling her daughter an animal. She's saying that, she's not an animal. She actually went on to say that, and I'm trying not to say the little girl's name, but her daughter is her best. Now she has 9 children. And she said out of her 9 children, she said, my other children are probably going to get mad, but, the one in question is my best. Now, it should also be said that she has a son who was indicted in 2018 at the age of 17 for murdering a man in his vehicle 2 days after Christmas. The man name is Scott DeVille. Scott DeVille was going and getting in his car in the morning, going to work, and allegedly, we're going to say allegedly, her son was in the back seat to where allegedly her son shot him to death. And so she has 2 out of 9 children right now in jail on a murder charge. And so we're going to go ahead and talk about, what I just talked about and other stuff. So Gary, what say you?
I'm going to say what America is saying. We don't give a fuck if she commits suicide. I don't care what she do. You didn't had your people inboxing. You got your people making excuses. At the end of the day, your child participated in a felony act that resulted in murder. Therefore, she should have been charged just as equally, but she wasn't. Okay, so she's an accomplice to murder. She's an accomplice to murder. And that's what it boils down to. So the sob stories, you go sell all the motherfucking pig feet sandwiches you want trying to raise money to get her bond money. I don't think nobody should give any money. You're a piss poor family. Your supporters are piss poor. Because if anything, why don't your family or you pick up the phone and call and give your condolences to the family that lost their child? So if you want to tell the truth, your child, as you say, should not have been there. Okay, I get it. That's what's in your mind. And your perception is your reality. But I'm going to say that Melanie shouldn't have died. She was innocent to a 100% degree. Because really, your kid and them other kids wasn't after Melanie. They were after a sister. So Melanie was in the wrong place at the wrong time. And since your daughter think it was so funny to laugh on video and she leaking, leak your motherfucking ass up into that juvenile. When you become an adult, take your ass up into that female prison and get it how you live, man. That's how I feel about it.
I'm going to co-sign on that because, again, yes, we want our children to do this and we want our children to do that. And we were on a show, we've said on several shows where the parent was like, well, the kids are going to do what they want to do. I think we said that Friday. That is the prototypical go-to comment when you are a piss poor parent. It's as simple as that. You're just piss poor. Own the shit. That is your child. When our children go out there and they do dumb shit, it's a reflection of the family. It's a reflection of the family. So I have some friends that have sons. Okay. The father of these sons is a thug or a criminal, whatever you want to call him, right? That's the family business. Now the sons are involved in the family business and everybody's surprised. Now, could that mother have been an influence on the uncles and everybody else? They could have, but they didn't give a shit. I'm too busy. I'm doing this. I'm doing me. So the kids are raising themselves. Regardless if the kids are raising themselves or not, they're still a reflection of us. So now society has to deal with what you couldn't teach them or wouldn't teach them. There's a good episode on Andy Griffith's show that kind of reminds me of what we're talking about tonight. It's that episode where the rich kid, he had the bike and stuff and he did what he wanted and he just kind of rode around. And then the father came in and was like, you give my son back his bike, blah, blah, blah. And Andy Griffith told him, listen here, if you don't want to teach and do for your child within the home, when he gets out here, he's going to have to be answering to us. And at that point, it's going to be too late to talk about what he can do and what he can't do. So we really have to get back to teaching our children what they need to do to act out there in society. Because right now, those girls are in society answering to the man for the actions that they took part in.
Dimitri, before you speak, because I want you to speak not just as a host, I want you to speak as a mom. I'm going to set the table for you. Andrea Cruz, or whatever your name is, you said you are ridiculous. That shit you talking will be back at your door one day. Well, let me tell your ratchet ass something. No, it ain't coming back to my door because I raised my children. It ain't coming back to my door. And see, you the Negroes, that's the problem with us trying to even reach these kids. Because you don't seem to have a problem with somebody participating in a fucking murder. No, I'm not going to delete you. I want to chew your ass up tonight. I'm going to chew your ass up tonight. Not just for Melanie's mom. I'm going to chew you up for Calandria Simpson, who lost her son to gun violence. I'm going to chew you up for Jordan Baker, who mom lost her son to gun violence. I'm going to chew you up. The last time I spoke at a funeral in Lake Charles, was at a funeral. I'm going to chew you up for Lila Lambert, who lost her son due to gun violence. Shut the fuck up. That's how I feel about you and anybody that's with you that don't seem to have a problem with what the fuck went on. The excuses are out the window. It was premeditated murder, and I hope they throw the book at her young little fast ass.
Yeah, in regard to Andrea's comment, you're ridiculous. The shit you talking will be at your back door one day. I just wish people like that would have as much energy, you know, for people who are running around, you know, with other girls, killing other girls. And, you know, and Gary, like you said, you know, to the mom's, Erica's point, you know, she's saying, oh, my daughter is not like that. But we saw the video. We saw the video when they were running out laughing, talking about, yeah, I stabbed her, she's leaking, kiki, ha ha. It was so funny. But yeah, and Gary, I agree with you. She never once said Melanie's name. Never once. She says, oh, well, you know, and I'm paraphrasing, but I have sympathy for the other girl. She didn't deserve that. She deserves to be here. But, you know, my daughter is not like that. And this is what I want somebody to answer. Maybe I'm missing something. Why is your 12-year-old daughter roaming the streets, and it sounds like it's at night, by herself? Why was she not? That 12 years old is a baby. Why is she unsupervised? And you know, one thing I took issue with that she said, and I also want to know, where the hell is her lawyers? A public relations, somebody to say, hey, shut up. You are giving the prosecution everything they need to help throw the book at your daughter. She's talking about, oh, well, my daughter, you know, she's an old soul. She got older friends. She got more older friends than I do. I'm like, are you slow? Are you slow? You sitting up here admitting that your child who was 12 got older friends, and I'm assuming the mom's got to be in her 40s. You know, I'm just going to put that out there. But you're saying that your daughter has more older friends than you? And then she says that, you know, we are friends. So it's like, I don't want to say I'm confused, but I'm lost. How did you not think all of the things you did or did not do was not going to lead up into that? You know what? And I'll go along with, yeah, maybe you didn't raise her to be that way, but 2 out of 9 of your children are facing a murder rap. That ain't on them. That's on you. And I saw the pictures of her sons, because I did some research, and I would just say this, I'm not shocked. Put it that way.
Well, if you take the time to go down her page and you look at the shit that mom posts on her page, you a pussy popper. You a straight up pussy popper. You the parent that we talking about all the time. So right now, almost 30% of the children that you gave birth to are facing either 1st degree or 2nd degree murder in the state of Louisiana. Almost 30% of the children that you gave birth to. But what do you expect from a mama who all on Facebook pussy popping? No, you wasn't raising no kids. You was out there chasing the dick. That's what you were doing. I don't care how you get on and how you say it, but your whole demeanor rubbed me the wrong way. You know, and we know when you shoot slugs. We know somebody to let you look at that video. Well, guess what? Tonight we like some old school riverboat gamblers. We doubling down on your ass. We ain't going no motherfucking well. This is real black media. This the shit that you don't get on CNN. See, they got to filter what the hell they say. We get to say whatever we want. And trust me, my 2 friends try not to bring that funk. But me, I'm not fucking around with y'all no more. I'm going to tell the truth. You a pussy popper. You wasn't raising no kids. And that's what it was. And now we as a community, that family as a family has to deal with the fact that your child has taken the life, participated in taking the life of another child, and you want remorse? You think she just gonna go home? Well, this is the time that she don't just get to come home. This is the time, and I'm gonna say it, and I don't give a fuck who get mad. She gonna deal with the white man in the state of Louisiana, whose prisons, some of them, are nothing more than glorified plantations. Welcome to modern day slavery, young lady. Because if you don't know your history, you about to learn it on the yard you're going to be on.
And just think about some of the things. When I was watching the video, she's speaking. And again, the 5-star never sleeps. You guys, if you guys have ever see this man, he's never sleeping. He's constantly putting the information out there. I'm over here in California. We're 2 hours. I know I'm at least 2 hours behind him. And I'm seeing this video, and this lady's on there. And like you just said, even if the girl could come home, come home to what? What are you going to teach her any different than what's been going on? And, you know, and it's almost prophetic, 5-star, because last Friday, you even said these kids are raising themselves. The mother, you know, the Facebook page, all this other stuff. And, you know, I hate to stereotype, and I'm not going to stereotype, but we all know these moms out there and these dads out there that want to be friends with their children. This is the kind of shit that happens when you're friends with your children. Yeah, baby, you're only 12 years old, but you go out and hang out till, 2 a.m. with your older friends. That's what friends do. Your parents would be, get your ass in the house. You're home before 11. At 12, you be home before the lights get dark and the lights click on. But this is what happens. So, when this lady was talking, I was horrified for the simple fact that what would be the difference for that girl going home or than being into some institution? To me, at least the institution will teach her how to act in these fucking streets, according to the man, because she ain't learning a goddamn thing being at home. 9 kids, 30% of them, 2 of them under murder charges. And this lady is acting like she's not the problem. And again, ladies, we're not forgetting the fathers. Where are the fathers? Period.
Also in the video, she talked about herself going to jail a couple of times. And she was saying, I can't imagine what my daughter, must be going through lying there, in the cell or wherever she is in juvenile hall. Basically wondering what's going on. And I'm like, well, imagine if your daughter was murdered in Walmart, stabbed to death by, 4 girls, on her birthday. Like, imagine that. So again, I'm not trying to minimize, her pain and that her child is in jail, but it's like, are you for real? You acting like your daughter stole somebody's backpack at school or something. Like, the way she's talking, you wouldn't even know she was talking about a girl who was murdered, let alone on her birthday. She's just like so desensitized. She has this woe is me, and God, I don't want her to kill herself. I would think that would be horrible. But some part of me thinks it's more attention. Oh my gosh, I'm thinking like, okay, on one hand, you talking about how you're everything to your kids, you're this, great parent, this, that, and the other. Now you talking about killing yourself? So how can you be there for your kids? So to me, I just kind of felt like, well, maybe she's, trying to do an attention grab here. Now she's making it about herself. But I mean, she's just so far removed from what actually happened that night. Like, is she aware that somebody's child is getting ready to be buried on Saturday due to the actions of her, child being a participant in, and then, it's one thing to say, okay, well, they were just fighting. Look, from Gary, what you say, they went and got the knives. They went and got the knives.
Well, they went and got them off the shelf. See, and all these people out there that supporting her saying, well, Melanie came to fight too. No, you jammed them up. You jammed them 2 sisters up at the movie theater. They ran to Walmart. They created a level of separation. They did not want to fight. They didn't know you had. Now, I don't think I know any motherfucker that's finna fight somebody and know they got a knife in their hand.
Okay, so stop right there. Because you said this the other day. That is premeditated murder, okay? I don't care how old you are. If you run around with a pack of girls and you go to Walmart and, you for one thing, you got to go find the knives. Then you got to, first you're making the decision, let's go find some knives. You go find the knives and then you commence to hunting these girls down to fight with the knives. And so at some point, those girls could have said, hey, you know what? It was cool while we was going to be fighting, but I don't want to have anything to do with you picking up knives. But it sounds like they continued to go along with her. So, I mean, I'm confused at this mother's perception of actually what her daughter was a part of.
Every day we got to deal with teenagers out here committing all kinds of crimes. And a lot of days, what it is they can run back to their safe haven, which is their parents, and they kind of figure out a way to make it go away. Not this time. And from doing my research, y'all been bullying. See, you really didn't have a beef with Melanie. They didn't have a beef with Melanie. They had a beef with her sister. So the young sister is now sitting there beating herself up, thinking that she got her sister killed. No, baby, don't think like that. See, these 4 girls had been fucking with them girls. They had been bullying these kids. You see what I'm saying? They had been bullying them. Oh, she didn't know what she was doing, or she wasn't supposed to be there. She knew exactly what she was doing. You're right about one thing. Not one of those 4 girls should have been in Walmart. They went there. And they went there with it on their mind. So my question would be, how many other times have you done this to other people's kids, but they just did die? You see what I'm saying? So I don't feel any sympathy for the mom. I don't feel any sympathy for the kids that did it. You want to be a grown-up, deal with the grown-up consequences. Go stand your ass in that courtroom and figure it out. And I'm going to be honest with you, there's so many things that I could pick apart. If I'm an attorney, this is the one reason I want to go to law school, because I would take this case for free. I would take it for free. It's premeditated murder. Melanie and her sister created a level of separation. You showed up in Walmart. You could have showed up in there and just had a fight. But in the process of you showing up in there, you took the time to go walk the aisles. You looked for the perfect weapon. You wanted a knife that could do damage. Mr. Attorney, DA, are you listening to me? Because you're going to hear it now, or you're going to hear it when I get there. You looked for the perfect weapon. You knew what you wanted to do to Melanie Lyons. Maybe to her sister too. But I will say this here. Melanie's little sister, I'm not going to say she's a bad person. She's not. Melanie, they both good kids. But it's always the good ones that get caught up in some shit that realistically they ain't got nothing to do with. You motherfuckers out here, you got guns, you can't shoot straight. You got knives, you're stabbing the wrong motherfucking people. And now I got the parents running their mouth. Fuck the mama, and that's from the bottom of my heart. Kiss my ass.
So let me ask you this, 5-star. You got your background in law. You get your law degree. Demetra has taken law several times, and she's a PR person, so she knows how to make this look. If you were on the defense team, how would you defend this? Because I'm thinking like this: and God help them if they're going to get a public defender that ain't going to give a shit. Like I said, because I don't believe juveniles are throwaway children. I don't believe in throwing away children. They have a chance to repent and all that other stuff. I don't care if they're in there for 40 years, but they should be given a chance to get out and turn their lives around and all that stuff, because they've got to pay for what they've done. But if you had to defend this, like you said, she went and got the knife. If I was the judge sitting on the thing, even though the judge, by the way, for you guys, unless you're doing a bench jury, which is what the judge decides rather than a jury. If I'm the judge, and let's say there is a jury, and I'm listening to the case, and I'm just going to say for me, I would have to say that this is premeditated murder for the simple fact you were in a Walmart. Out of all the things you could have done to get with this girl, I've been to Walmart several times, and they have a sports section. You could have got some boxing gloves. You could have got, something, if that's non-lethal. And they went and got a lethal item and ended up killing this girl. And I don't know how you can say it was an accident, but how would you defend this?
The only accident, and then I'll go into what you asked, is that Obama laid up one night and got the dick and had her. That was the accident, because she had no plans on raising her any goddamn way. It would be, if this came across my desk and I was the defense attorney, I wouldn't take the case, because I have a conscience. I wouldn't be able to be the one to take the case. I'd pass it along. Maybe somebody else could defend this, because I do it even in advocacy. I defend the child in the school to the last ounce of my breath. But if they wrong, I won't take the assignment. Now, I want people to understand, that the kid that actually got the second-degree murder charge, she was already on probation for previously stabbing a child at school. You're professional at what you do. So those that were with her knew her pedigree. They knew she gonna work that knife if she don't do nothing else. So it ain't like they didn't know, bruh. I wouldn't be able to take the case. You know, I wouldn't be able to do it. That's just my honest opinion. And I'm major in law, and I wouldn't take the case.
I mean, I agree with you, Donovan. I don't think that we should throw children away, but I don't think they should get away with murder. Okay. And I wish, you know, I used to always hear my dad say, "Ooh, they better be happy I ain't in charge." You know, that I'm not in charge. And I used to always wonder what that meant. And now I get it, you know, because if I was in charge, the parents would be doing that time as well. Because those children didn't get that way on their own. I think the parents need to do the time to, you're sitting on Facebook, whining and crying about, you know, your child's situation and, you know, you didn't raise her like that. Yeah, you did. You did. Because as we all said, we've been on your page. And Bertha, I saw you had looked on there too. And she does have a child on there flipping the bird. And the child can't be no more than 2 years old. And, you know, it's like, that's the kind of stuff you putting on Facebook? Your 2-year-old child. So you did raise your children to be that way. But it's like, it's all fun and games until your child is looking at, an accomplice to murder rap. So, I mean, as far as me being able to defend it, I would have my client, if she was my client, I would just, you know, have her do a plea because you were there. You had plenty of opportunities to not be a part of that. You brought the party from the movies. You brought it over to Walmart. You ran up and down the aisles looking for weapons. And then you commenced to finding these girls. And then you didn't even, the girl you was looking for, not that she should have, you know, gotten it, but you went and stabbed her sister. So there were so many way out for these girls to turn around, and they didn't. I would have her take a plea, you know, and do something. But I don't suggest that she goes away for the rest of her life. Now the girls that did the stabbing, that's a whole different story. Because she went in there intending on taking somebody's life and then had the calmness about herself to go live and brag to people that she just took somebody's life. Yeah, you know, I wouldn't have a problem with her doing a life bid.
Jonelle Muhammad says you kill someone, you take all they have and all they will ever have. It's a mercy they get jail food. Now, do y'all understand what he mean by that? And Jonelle is here every night. Thank you, brother, because you give us some great insight. Good brother, Nation of Islam, guided by the great one, Louis Farrakhan. So ain't nothing he finna say gonna be out of pocket. Now, I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna be the devil's advocate on the program. As much as I love kids and as much as I fight for them every day, when I sit down and I talk to a kid, I make them understand one thing. You need to find your lane in dealing with the law. Because if you really want to deal with them, you're going to deal with them. You're going to deal with the consequences that come, the whole 9 yards. You see what I'm saying? So I believe that these unruly motherfuckers that's just out here wrecking havoc, that don't want to be talked to, that don't want to be reached, yeah, get rid of their motherfucking asses. Because you took something from Melanie's family. You took the life of somebody that could have been anything they wanted to be. She was going to make mistake after mistake, but she was going to end up getting it right. She was going to be a decent mom because she comes from a decent family. She was going to end up having some type of job or own her own company. You took all the promise from this young girl because of some bullshit. And now you think that your child should not face the consequences? And what parent allows their 2-year-old to throw the fucking finger up on Facebook? But you raising them the right way. That's bullshit. You have yet to acknowledge this child by name. That is a problem for me. And I'm going to go as hard in the paint as I need to go because I'm going to make you say her motherfucking name. I'm going to make you say your condolences. I will never speak to you. I don't have the breath inside of me to speak to you because of what you did. I have a child. And to lose a child in the manner that these people lost this baby, to watch her take her last breaths on a concrete floor in Walmart, I say live by the Bible. An eye for an eye. Oh yeah, and by the way, life in the state of Louisiana is life.
Yeah, that's true. Louisiana has some very, very archaic laws with that. And I mean, it's all a losing thing. And I know a lot of people, I love reading you guys' comments. You guys are going in there. You guys are having a conversation. And that's what we need in our community, because for years now, you know, we're not talking to each other. Now, this situation right here happens to me, I would say, in every family has a situation similar to this. If you're an uncle, if you're an aunt, if you're a brother, if you're a sister, whatever the situation is, you got to ask yourself, when you look at that younger generation, did you actually step in and say something to try to get that child in the right direction or where they're supposed to be? Did you tell your sister what these kids doing outside at such and such a time? We are losing so many of our children. And again, Black women are the fastest growing rate of people in the prison system over bullshit. Bullshit. Most of it nonviolent. Drug offenses is the most prevalent. And then, of course, you got the other things that come with it. But, you know, we just have to do better as a people. It's just, you know, we're just losing. We just keep losing and keep losing and keep losing. And I don't know what it's going to take, because some people in there are going to be saying, well, it's none of our business, whatever. As a community, if we don't stand up as a community, what standard do we have? We're going to let the man decide and tell us what is acceptable and what is not acceptable. Some things are exactly acceptable, if not more so. If we can't police our own, who's supposed to police them? We're just going to continue to lose our children down an empty rabbit hole. So we just have to do better. Like I said, I look at this case, and I'm with Demetra. I'm with the 5-star. The only thing I can do if I was an attorney defending this is plea and say, look, maybe we can get away with, she was so poor that they didn't know what they were doing. But that only works for rich people. You're so rich, you don't understand your consequences. But we happen to know here as Black people that the justice system isn't for us. And so knowing that, why would our children put themselves in a position to go straight to prison for the rest of their lives? And don't tell me 12 years old is age that they don't understand the concept of right and wrong.
Jonelle on it tonight, man. He say right, 5-star. So he agrees with me. Our children are supposed to be the answer to our prayers and others, yet majority of them are raised and led wayward of in their purpose. You know, I always say that God puts us here for a purpose. Once you figure out your assignment and you turn a blind eye to your assignment, he shortens your days because you don't serve a purpose. So you took something from that family. You won't even acknowledge the fact that your child was wrong to even be there. All that, and I'm telling you, they're watching all this. The police, the DA, the prosecutor, and whoever that judge is going to be is watching all this. Whoever your attorney is the dumbest motherfucker in the world, because you ain't supposed to be on no video, making no goddamn video, basically incriminating your child. You shouldn't be doing it. So, you know, and a good defense attorney would tell us, sit her monkey ass down and shut up. You're not helping the situation. So, you know, I think a lot of people, you know, one of my men on here said that in Louisiana, the law say that you know, life is to 21 years old when they commit juvenile offenses. Well, here's the problem. And I would have to go back into my law books because I just studied this last semester, that they can take your sentence And then when you turn 21, they can take it back to court. And then if the judge agrees, they can then make you finish the remainder of your sentence or let you go. But most times they make you finish the remainder of your sentence in an adult prison. You made an adult decision. You made a decision to impact not just one life, but countless numbers of lives. So yeah, you'll come in there with your sob story on sentencing day and with your character reference letters. But I mean, how you gonna present a character reference letter when little mama, you was already on probation for stabbing somebody at school? It don't work. And in Calcasieu Parish, it ain't gonna work. Maybe your worst nightmare was realized today, which I knew it would be. That old 5-star gonna go in, he gonna have surgery, he might not make it out. But I knew I was gonna make it out. So when I came out of there, I'm laying in recovery, eyes pop open, I'm laying there. And I started thinking about Melanie Lyons. Because it's the way God works with me. You have an assignment, Mr. Monroe. And I don't want anything from you. I don't want your money. I don't want your sympathy. I don't want your justification, your clarification, or none of that. I want justice. I want justice. And that's all that family wants is justice. And I guarantee you, we're going to get justice.
No, I mean, absolutely. I think, but yeah, justice absolutely needs to be had. But I see a few people in the comments. It seems like you guys know of her mother. And it sounds like, somebody said that she, would be at the school cutting up as well. And so I think the image that she's showing us on her live is, the cleaned up version of who she wants people to believe she is. And, when I saw that live, I said she is who we thought she was. We called it to a T on Friday, the type of parent, that are probably raising these girls. And she opened her mouth and proved us right. Also, she said something. She says that she raised all 9 of her kids by herself. She said, I'm a single mom. I raised all of my kids by myself. And I'm thinking, yeah, not one daddy is around. Like, where are these fathers? I mean, I don't know how many fathers it took to make these 9 children, but how is it that you have 9 children and you are a single mom? Because when you're a single mom, that, indicates that there's no man around. And so how is that possible? But also I want to know, with people donating to help her get her child out, I'm like, what's wrong with y'all? Y'all do know what her daughter is accused of, right? She's accused of participating in the murder of somebody else on their birthday. And so I see the sentiment, I go to her page and I see people commenting and, I'm praying and anything I can do. We're having these, it's not a fish dinner. It's I don't even know what it is. I think it is something like some chitlins or something. I don't know. They're making all these plates and stuff, and all the proceeds are going to getting her daughter a good lawyer. And I guess, her daughter should have a good lawyer, but I don't know. I just don't see a whole lot of sympathy for Melanie. It's just odd to me. And I think if you know this mom, then you also know she's being disingenuous when she's saying, oh, I'm this, June Cleaver type of mother, Claire Huxtable. I've done all I can to raise my kids the best way. She lying if you know her. So how are you confused with the message she's sending you opposed to what you know of her?
She ain't no motherfucking Claire Huxtable. She more like one of them girls from P Valley, raising kids. Y'all, I got the hiccup, so bear with me. She one of them motherfuckers from Pussy Valley. If you ain't never seen P Valley, go watch it, then you'll understand. Look, man, you can raise a kid to the best of your ability, but some days you have to understand that you have to be truthful and say, I don't know how to raise a kid. I don't know how to raise a child. You see what I'm saying? I don't know how to raise a child. And if that's the case, then you get some help. But right now, it doesn't matter what any of her supporters say, nothing. Let me break this down to you. You don't own your child right now. The state of Louisiana does. Modern day slavery now owns your child. But we can't get mad at the system because the system is just going to use the law and the books and they're going to sentence accordingly. Your child never had to be in that position. You allowed her to put herself in that position. You allowed your 12-year-old child to be out at 9 o'clock at night with no supervision, with a bunch of outlaw ass girls that she been running with, and you really thought that the night would end perfectly. Or you really thought that all they did was beat her up, they stabbed her, but you had no clue that she would die. You have no clue that she would die. If you just stick a person in one good spot, it's done. They can't come back from that. You know what I don't get with you youngsters, and it's youngsters that watch my show every night. Watch my show, watch Demetrius' show, watch this show. You the cowardest motherfuckers I ever laid eyes on. Y'all can't fight. The only fighting you do is on the PlayStation with the shit you be playing. You motherfuckers jumping people, and y'all don't even have a problem with 5, 6 motherfuckers jumping a motherfucker. Them cowards, man. I didn't raise no cowards in my house. I remember one day they little girl pulled my baby hair out in middle school. I went to the school and I tried to talk to them people. I had told them several times the girl bullied my child. And I stood there with all 3 of them babies in middle school because she had a twin. And the oldest one was like a grade or 2 above her. So they in the 6th, she in the 8th. And I stood in that room and I told that administration, I ain't teaching them English right now. I'm teaching them how to fight. So if they come back here again and you can't protect them, they have carte blanche to whoop ass in this motherfucking school. You're not gonna bully my child. And the thing was, is you jump my baby, you pull her hair. It was a way to deal with that. You know how I dealt with it? I took my baby to counseling, had him do hair restoration, ran that motherfucking bill up to about 15 grand, and presented that motherfucker in a court of law. Since you can't control your child, you finna pay for everything she gotta go through. And they had to pay. So the bottom line is, I don't think any of us wake up in the morning wanting to raise killers. That ain't what we do. But we can lose our children so fast nowadays because these streets are so different than where we grew up, Donovan and Demetrius, that if you're not on top of your child, the streets will eat them up, and then your child end up participating in some shit like this here. See, it was fun and games when they were just jumping people and they stab them a little bit. But see, you let it go on too many times. So now they got to deal with the big one. That 25 with an L is a motherfucker, man. I hope you got your commissary money ready, because she's going to be in there for a minute.
You know, this reminds, how many of you guys remember the old Waffle House fights and stuff like that? And, you know, when I saw the mom, that's what it kind of reminded me of, you know, her mentality of what she was saying. It was like, you know, no, I don't take responsibility for anything. This is your child. Yes, you didn't do the action, but the child is still a reflection of what the value systems you taught it. So, you know, I'm looking at this and I'm just saying, a 12-year-old caught up, 2 kids, all these things that's going on. And as she's, you know, talking, you know that she has, you know, it's bad enough being Black in America. We're stressed as it is. So I'm seeing this lady smoking, you know, she's trying to process what's going on. But this is exactly why situations like this happen. When I hear a kid talk about, I don't know what I want to be, I don't know what I want to do, we need more lawyers in the hood. We need more people that are going to represent us. We need, you know, there's so many things to do. But we don't gear our kids to do that. We glorify, you know, the bad life or the crack life or whatever you call it. The girls in the neighborhood all have babies by the same drug dealer in the neighborhood. She has 9 children, like Demetrius said. You know, I don't know how many men that is, but it's just like, let's forget the fathers. If that's 9 men, and let's say there's 2 fathers, I'm going to say 2 fathers, that's still 2 families with an uncle probably and aunts and all these other people. When a kid to me acts out like that, I mean, it shows that they have no love and they're living a lifestyle that they've seen on TV, like Demetrius said Friday. The show Power and, you know, all these shows that glorify living a certain way. And yet the black media, this show is out here trying to tell you guys, let's do something different. A lot of you guys, I mean, I'm still getting emails and messages about the Reddit thing with the money that was made. Walter Culture comes on this show. We put a financial thing on this show, and yet that's a bill. Nobody wants to invest. So a lot of you guys lost money just based on that. We've been saying on this show, this is a good time for us to redress our community and start from scratch. Start from scratch, because when I see these young people just throwing their lives away, it just absolutely makes no sense. The glorification of negativity in our community, it just needs to stop. And again, where are these fathers? Forget the fathers. Where's the extended family? Where is the extended family? You mean to tell me everybody that this woman came in contact with, every person that she had children with, nobody in that family gave a damn? And giving a damn isn't upholding hood life.
Say, let me tell you something about this money thing. Walter will be back Thursday. He's been on the hiatus, but he coming back Thursday. So if you really want to learn some things about your money, how to make some money, man, be here Thursday night, man. My man gonna tell you. He done dealt with Puffy. He done dealt with all the big boys dealing with money, man. So I mean, he really just trying to help us. You can't expect for your child to be nothing no more than what you breed them to be. What you breed them to be. I've told my kids, I explained the law to them. I explained the history of, policing. And the best thing that I could tell them, look, if you don't want to deal with that shit, then don't put yourself in a position to have to deal with it. Don't do nothing stupid. Ain't nothing wrong with being a punk on some days. You know what I mean by that? If 4 motherfuckers walk up on me, I'm gonna be the punk that day. Man, I'm gonna run, I'm gonna walk off, man, I ain't finna do this. Because I already know what's in my mind. Somebody ain't gonna make it home just like I ain't gonna make it home. But then when I think about it, even if I do it to him like that, somewhere in there, I'm gonna have to deal with this shit too. And it's gonna cost me more money than I want to spend. I'd rather spend my money with Walter than spending my money with the bail bond. Just to get satisfaction. And repping the hood, you motherfuckers don't rep no hood. You don't own shit in the hood. You represent shit that you own. That's tangible to you. See, y'all out here, you know who I love, Dimitri and Donovan? You gonna love. I love Melvin. From Baby Boy. Let's talk about guns and butter. You motherfuckers on some dumb shit. See, you want the guns, I want the butter, man. I ain't got time to be out there, so I'm gonna raise my children to go get the money for real, man. Money that they ain't gotta look over their back and worry about where it came from. Money that they ain't gotta look at and say, well, look what I had to do to get it. I had to go into the VIP and I had to, sleep with a nigga on a little bench. I want to raise my kids the right way. Ain't nothing wrong with raising your kids the right way. But if you don't raise them the right way, then you will deal with life a different way. And right now, these people did not make an agreement for Melanie Lyons to be in a motherfucking body bag because your unruly kids chased them from the fucking movie theater to Walmart. Nobody made a deal for Melanie to have to sit in a casket this Saturday. Nobody made a deal for Melanie to have to be dropped down six feet below. The deal was made the day that she was born, that she would bury her parents. And you altered the blueprint. I hope you get the hardest fucking judge in Calcasieu Parish. But you know what I liked? And I think y'all go watch it. I would have to find it. I ain't got the time right now. The sheriff of Calcasieu Parish, I've never heard a police officer speak the way that he spoke. In a press conference he did. He said, man, y'all need to grab y'all kids, man. Some of these kids are out of control. We can only do so much. But if you don't want your child dealing with this system, then you need to teach them better. I respected that white man for saying that. Because that's what it is. Your child died in that Walmart right along with Melanie because her life is over. It is forever over. She will not be able to get an apartment. Not with a murder on her fucking background. She gonna have a problem trying to find a job. All this shit. Her life is over. All four of you girls. All four of the parents, if I don't know if two of the girls were sisters or whatever, however that went, you parents need to look at yourself in the mirror and accept responsibility for the fact that you attributed to Melanie Lyons' death. Dimitri.
Toya Collins, how are you doing? I see you say that there should be charges on both sides. You say, yes, even the girl who died, friends, etc. too, that's fair. She could have avoided it. Also, that's real. Everybody's wrong. Run up on somebody not knowing what they have. It's all wrong. Well, first thing that comes to my mind, I want to ask you is, are you high? What have you been smoking before you came on to Facebook tonight? What would make you think that there should be charges on both sides? Melanie and her sister were minding their business. They were preyed upon by these four girls. And let's say they weren't minding their business. That still gives nobody a right to be stabbed. And if somebody comes up on you wanting to fight, you have a right to defend yourself. The law says that you're supposed to trade force for force. So if you're fighting me with a fist, I'm going to, try to defend myself, but then you go get a knife. How can I defend myself against that? But you think that there should be charged? Like, do you realize that somebody was murdered and you got the gall to say there should be charges on both sides? Like, really, what did you roll up in your joint tonight? I'm curious.
Let's go on and finish dragging them. Young lady, let me tell you something. I'm going to play lawyer for a second. I'm going to ask some questions. Dimitri, can you answer them for me? There was some type of ruckus in the movie theater. Am I correct?
Correct.
To the point that Melanie Lyons and her sister could not even watch the movie they had paid for. Am I correct?
Correct.
At that point, when that ruckus had happened, was there a level of separation between the four girls, Melanie Lyons, and her sister?
From what I understand.
That means that Melanie Lyons saw a situation that could get out of hand, grabbed her sister, they ran to Walmart, right?
Mm-hmm.
So here's my question. Why did the girls follow them? Why did they follow them to Walmart? If Melanie left running and you wasn't trying to pinpoint where she was going, you wouldn't have never knew she went to Walmart. So here's my next question. See, I'm gonna be a cold lawyer when I finish, because I'm gonna give you, I fuck around and have y'all getting the needle, fucking with my clients. So once the level of separation occurred, Melanie Lyons is in Walmart, the four girls show up in Walmart. Did they immediately try to attack Melanie?
Yes.
This was after they did what?
After they messed with them at the movies?
After they messed with them at the movies, Melanie went to Walmart. What happened with the four girls once they got to Walmart? What did they do?
They went to look for knives.
So they didn't immediately run up on Melanie.
And they weren't in any immediate danger. The danger left when they separated at the movies.
So here's my question, is a very pivotal one. When you know somebody has already tried to harm you in any kind of way, and they're coming up to you in an aggressive manner, what are you going to do at that point?
Defend yourself. Either fight or flight. They already took flight and they left them no choice but to fight. That's the laws of nature.
So what I'm trying to figure out, and ma'am, I just want you to know something. I need you to open your eyes and open your thoughts. That if Melanie had no choice but to defend herself, did Melanie Lyons do it with a knife? Because Melanie never went into the store to purchase a knife. She never went into the store to steal a knife. She went into the store to spend her birthday money since she could not watch the movie. Your people came over there. So I want you to tell me, since you're so smart, what charge should Melanie get? And here's the dumbest question I could ever ask anybody. What you gonna charge a dead woman with? What I need you to do, ma'am, I need you to sit back. I know you're connected to these people in some kind of way, but at the end of the day, your country rhetoric is not going to help that child. You need to get some money, try to find you the best lawyer who ain't gonna do shit but take your money, knowing full well that the best they could do is get a deal, and help that child in that manner. Lessen the amount of years that the state of Louisiana will throw at her because of her past history. Last question, Demetri. Do you think that any one of these 4 girls that was involved in that murder, do you think their prior criminal history, their school record, disciplinary record will come into play?
Absolutely. It absolutely is going to come into play.
They up shit creek with no power.
Yeah, you know, especially in the Black community, when it comes to court cases like this, or just in general, they kill your character even after you're dead if you're a Black person. You know, George Floyd, man was murdered minding his own business. What did they bring up? He was you know, a recovering drug, you know, on drugs and all this other stuff. So all that's is going to be a play. Their disciplinary record, all of that stuff is going to be forthcoming. But see, this is what I mean about people in our community that co-sign on this shit. Right is right, wrong is wrong. You've got some people in these comments act like they know what's going on. No, you know, again, we don't know the whole factual thing that's going on, but we do know this. A young girl is dead. 4 other girls are locked up as the aggressors. If I was the attorney right now, I wouldn't even go to a jury trial. I would ask for a bench trial, show some act of contrition, and just like the 5-star just said, I would hope that by doing those type of things, I could possibly reduce the sentence for my client. Because at this point, I don't see how these girls are going to get a fair trial or have a different outcome than what they expect to get, because somebody's dead. But see, and that's our problem in our community. We love to co-sign on bullshit. This is not a movie. This is life. This is not power. This is not empire. This is reality. This girl is not coming back. How do you charge? So wait, we're supposed to charge a dead woman like the 5-star just said, or no, let's charge the dead woman's family, because if they didn't have her, she wouldn't have been at the Walmart and then she wouldn't be dead, right? Lunacy. It's just lunacy.
These kids can be anything they want to be. They don't have to be convict E57254. Paradise the model, which is a part of our team, has raised 9 children. She raised 9 children. So don't give me that 9 number like that's a problem. They got some fabulous people out here that have raised 1 or 2. You got some people out here that can raise 9 or 10. But they raised them. They raised them. We can tell the kids that deal with really good parents. I know, because I'm in the schools all the time. So the shit they come to school doing, they've been doing that shit at home. They ain't just developed this behavior at the fucking school. They just know they can come to the school and get away with that shit. So I'm going to say this here and then I'm going to go to the final thoughts. That you parents need to start being parents. You need to toughen up. You need to stop letting your kids talk to you any kind of motherfucking way. You need to stop taking ass whoopings at home that we know you taking from your 14, 15-year-old kid. You need to man up and do what the hell you want to do as it pertains to your child. Now, if you can't do that, then every state in the nation will deal with your child. So for me, I have no sympathy. I mean, we coached a kid in Little League. I ain't gonna say his name, but it was a big case out here where he was at the movies, minding his own business. Kid run up on him. He had to defend himself. He punched him. The kid fell out on the ground and hit his head on the concrete and died. They didn't charge that kid because he didn't want to fight him. He didn't want to fight him. But in this case, this was a plan of action that happened. They planned it when they went into Walmart looking for the knives. And it is what it is. And I tell you this here. The reason that some of y'all didn't get caught up with the knife shit because y'all didn't know how to work the knife. The one that had the knife, she had a history of working that knife. She knew how to work it. She this ain't her first rodeo. So I don't feel any sympathy. My sympathy and my heart goes out to the family because it's a very extended family. When you see the aunts making comments on this show, you see the grandmother making comments on this show. She had the right people in her life. But the thing is, you can become a decent parent right now by standing up for what's right. You don't go against your child. You have to make your child understand you participated in something that wasn't right. And you're going to have to deal with that. Now, I'm going to fight for you to try to help you as much as I can help you. But you have to, she going to get the book thrown at her if she go in there, even at 12 years old, and don't acknowledge the fact that she did what she did. When it's time for parole hearings, if they certify as an adult, you're not going to get parole until you acknowledge what you did. And you become remorseful for it. The parents, the kids are not being remorseful for what happened. You want them around here hollering, say his name. Well, guess what? I'm going to make you say her name when it's done. And if not, they can throw your kid away and throw your fucking no-parenting ass away with her. Final thoughts, Demetri.
Yeah, I see a few people on here. Jamon and, oh gosh, let's see. I don't see the other girl name, but it looks like she's kind of co-signing Keisha. And he basically said, you know, it was some bad decisions made on both sides. Well, I mean, I don't know which case you're following, but clearly it was, I mean, I should be able to go to the movies and expect not to be jumped or stabbed. So how did I make a bad decision? And you guys are a part of the problem in our community. Because as Donovan said, you guys just co-sign all kind of, excuse my French, I hope there's no kids in the room, fuckery. Y'all co-sign it. Well, if they would have just, no, people just need to behave themselves and keep their hands to themselves. And in regards to the mom, no doubt she's one of those parents is like, not my baby. No, my baby, not my baby. Yes, it's your baby. It's your baby. And people like badass little kids, bullies, who have learned to be that from you. They've learned to be that from you. And they go to school or wherever they're at, the movies and Walmart, and terrorize everybody because they get a pass from you. Instead of you putting a foot to their backside, you co-sign everything they do and defend them. Y'all be the parents that go up to the school and cuss out the teacher because they tried to make your child sit down and learn something. No, that's not my baby. My baby. Yes, your baby. It's your baby. And now it's your baby that's sitting up looking at a murder rap because you continue to have the attitude of not my baby. And, you know, no shade to people with a bunch of kids. I'm speaking to her with a bunch of kids. You sat up and said that you're a single parent and you raise them all by yourself. At some point in time, did you think, well, maybe I should stop having them if I'm not getting any help to raise them? Because clearly you're not doing a good job. You got 2 out of 9 of your babies sitting up in somebody's jail, potentially going to do all of their life for some hard time because of how you raised or did not raise them. So yes, it's your babies. And you need to take a look within yourself and do what you can to save the other 7 babies. And all I can say is God help them if you don't.
Final thoughts, Donald?
Absolutely. This is why the Black media does these stories so that we can talk within our community. You know, we need to call out some of these people that are, excuse my language, that are down with the fuckery. We need to call this out. Now, I know a lot of people will disagree with me. Demetri is on my ass all the time when I talk about the single mothers, because again, where are the fathers? She's right. Where are the fathers? Where are the fathers' families? You mean to tell me nobody from these fathers, these deadbeat fathers, ain't loving these kids? When you use the term single mother in a criminal court case and you are of the Black skin persuasion, that's a negative. They look at that as a negative. They look at that and it propagates exactly what happened in this scenario. We're all animals. Just throw them away and throw the key away. Lock them up and throw the key away. we play into these stereotypes. And we've got people that will just co-sign into it, co-sign into it, and co-sign into it. Ladies, yes, you're a single mom, but stop high-fiving that shit. I had a friend that was visiting me for a couple of days this week, and she listened to our show on Friday and Demetra's show on Sunday. And she has 4 children, 2 different dads, no problem. But she was friends with her children and did not realize it until she heard some of the stuff that was going on with this case that we talked about on Friday. Now, we are not always right, but we're damn sure not always wrong on this show. And sometimes we got to reflect and look at ourselves. Ladies, we really have to look at ourselves. The majority of you guys are single because somebody told you you don't need no goddamn man. You could do it yourself. This is what happens when you're out there and you want to go solo. Or if you want to be a single mom, that's fine. But you want to fight the people in the community that's trying to tell you about your child to keep them out of trouble and do all these things. You want to fight the teacher going down there, knowing your kids ain't doing the homework and being disruptive in the goddamn class. Saying you're a single mother and being a deadbeat father, that is not a fucking badge of honor. I'm sorry, it's not. We got to do better.
My final thoughts are simple. Parenting was not in question that night as it pertains to Melanie because her people knew where she was. They knew she went to the movies. It was her birthday. They also knew that she was in Walmart when she couldn't stay at the movie because of the incident. They knew where Melanie was the whole time. Now, the difference is, did the other parent who did the video, did you know where your child was? Undoubtedly, you didn't, based on the video that you did. You didn't. So where's good parenting in question in this matter? I totally agree with you, Donovan. I keep saying, and I hope y'all listening, you got to get the fathers back into the household. And I'm gonna be honest with you. I mean, some of these dudes ain't right. But you know, every time something happens, the men need to step up. Well, some of these men want to come home. You won't let them. For whatever that reason may be. Now, you can't have it both ways. You can't keep him out the house, and then when something happens, you complain about him not being there. You're gonna have to accept some of these dudes where they are. You knew who they were when you first started fucking with him. You knew he was a piece of trash. You knew he didn't want to work. You knew all he wanted to do was sell dope. You knew he was out here chasing all them bitches. But now it's a problem. No, you accept them where they are. You let them back into the household, and y'all work together as a team to raise these children the right way. Let's commit to that. Now, for me, it's tough. This is a tough situation. That's why I'm beating the drum on it. Because I don't think that it should have ever happened. I don't think that it should have ever happened. One final question, Demetra. If they went to the movies, the 4 girls, why did they even end up in Walmart? The movie hadn't started. You ran Melanie and them out the movie. Why you just didn't go watch the movie? Tomorrow night, you don't want to miss this episode. I send y'all what y'all need, Demetra and Donovan. And I've been watching it. I've been researching it. Judge Brendan Morris is under attack. She's been under attack ever since she won that judgeship down in Harris County. And I think that it's time for somebody to step up to the plate and look at this thing from a different way, the way they're trying to attack her. And you know, we don't script our shows, y'all. You know, if we need to get information to each other to research the problem, that's what we do. But we don't we don't sit around as a unit. Well, man, let's only talk about this. Let's only talk. Now, we 3 free thinkers. But tomorrow night, we're going to think freely. Because I don't think it's Brittany Morris that's a problem. I think it's the Harris County Democratic Party. And you still got your panties in a bunch because she beat that incumbent judge. And I am not going to sit back and allow you to attack our decent, good black politicians. Well, matter of fact, I'm a selfish son of a bitch right now. I'm not going to sit back and allow you to attack the fucked up ones either. Attack your people with all that bullshit they doing. Wasn't that your people down there in Washington breaking in their motherfucking capital? And one of the black dudes that was there, he still ain't got no motherfucking bail. But that's what you get, homeboy, for hanging with the wrong people, using the wrong place at the wrong time. I think everything needs a theme song. So from our family.
Before you do that, they want to know Melanie's GoFundMe.
Donovan, can you put it up for him, please? Donovan,
where can I find it? Yeah, I don't know where it's at.
Go to my page, and then you'll see it, and then put it up. Y'all, this is what I'm gonna challenge y'all to do. Right now, we're looking at 458 people, and I know it's gonna be far more than that by the time we finish. I need 458 people to donate $5. Let's put Melanie away in a beautiful manner. Let's send her home the way you send a queen home. I just $5, man. It's not for me. I don't control the GoFundMe. The parent deal with that. You know, the family deals with that. But let's just $5, man. Let's help this baby, man. A baby that could have been anything she wanted to be. Donovan, he's gonna put you see it, Donovan?
Which page? Which page is it on?
Gary Wayne Monroe. All I want y'all to do is just donate $5. Let's donate $5. I'd be damned if somebody that was involved in the murder should be raising damn near nearly as much as somebody that was killed in the murder. No, we need to put this baby away right. And funeral is Saturday. We need to raise this money, man. You say it takes a village? I'm coming to the villages right now. You see it yet? Hold on a second, y'all. Talk to him for a second, D. Let me go in here and find this.
Yeah, I was looking for it as well. But like you said, I mean, we got quite a few people watching tonight, and we want to thank you all for watching. Another thing, too, Black media is very important, right? We know it's important to support Black media because Black media gets these stories out. I'm sure you guys didn't hear this story on your local news channel or anything like that. We are bringing these stories to you. And so, you know, it's important to support Black media, but we're also grateful that you are here. And as soon as Gary puts up the link, like he said, just, you know, a couple dollars, everybody donate a couple dollars. We can give Melanie, you know, a nice homegoing service. I'm an unfortunate one, but you know, it's a necessary thing at this point. As soon as he gets it up here.
Yeah, you know, and another thing, you know, we just don't talk about tragedies here. We talk about strategies as well, being the new Black media. I mean, again, so many people are kicking themselves in the ass, and that's our another thing that we have to start breaking. We have to start breaking the situation of being reactionary instead of being proactive. So we're going to have a financial guru. This dude makes money hand over fist. I've witnessed it myself. I was lucky enough. I didn't make as much money as he did on Tuesday, but I made some dough. And this is what we need to do. We need to get into the money game.
While we waiting, Toya, you want me to not fix my foul ass mouth? I thought this was a show for opinion and discussion. It's a show for smart opinion and smart discussion, not dumb shit. We don't need you coming on here talking about charging both sets of people when one set of people was minding their business. So I press upon you to educate yourself and stop jumping at people's comments with the fuckery. It's people like you that keep our community where it's at. And I hope to God you don't have no children because you don't have any reasoning skills. You don't have the sense that God gave a cricket. So I say what I want to say as long as you making dumbass comments.
Don't come from my sister on this program. Black media ain't got no fucking respect. And guess what? Nobody owes a certified killer respect. Nobody owes anybody any respect that participated in a murder. Bottom line, you don't have to watch this shit. You can get the fuck on. That's what you do. Because your problem ain't Dimitri. Your problem ain't Donovan. Your problem is the baddest motherfucking activist in the motherfucking country that's gonna jam up the right motherfucking people. So won't you bring that smoke over here? If you don't bring that smoke over here, take your high yellow ass and sit the fuck down and stop talking to a caramel complected motherfucking queen. because you are just what you portray. Trash in itself. Well, here we go. Every song need a theme. Every show need a theme song. And we're going to send my queen out of here the right way. Say, man, I want to thank you for taking the time out to listen to us. I want to thank my good friend Donovan Sadiq, the queen, Demetra K. And I'm the 5-star general. It seems like yesterday. Let's stop burying our children, our nieces, our nephews. Let's figure out a plan to get these black men back into the household. You people should not be burying this baby, man. I just want you to think about all these kids that done died in the last year. Think about George. Think about Brianna, Ahmaud Arbery, Trayford Pellerin. Think about the ones that didn't make the news. Until tomorrow, we'll holler at you.